Hello guys, welcome back to Herky the Cavalier's channel. Let's talk about senior dogs. A moment for the peonies. I don't know if they're going to appear on the video, but just wanted to give a little shout out to the peonies because it is peony season. I have my pretty Herky today to talk to you guys about senior dogs because the last time we talked to you guys she was 10 years old and since then she turned 11, so our girl is officially a senior dog. I don't know what age officially they turn senior dog, but I really consider her to be a senior now. Our girl has definitely slowed down year after year, and this year is pretty noticeable, and I will touch on the few points that we notice changing in Herky. If you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Mai, this is Herky, and Miss Milton is right here. And talk about senior, I think Milton is pretty up there too. Can you guys believe puppy Milton will be 9 years old this year? It's been a long journey, it's been a long time. If you guys follow us since the beginning, then Herky was a puppy, Milton was a puppy, and now here we are with senior dogs. But that's okay because the evolution of our channel will just follow our girl's natural cycle. So today we will talk about aging dogs. And the most important point I want to talk about today is how you should change your behavior and how your approach with your dog should change when they are senior. Your dogs will change a lot when they reach this seniorhood, and it's very important that we are attentive to their ever-changing needs. We have noticed that with Herky ever since October 2024 with hurricane season here, it has changed her dramatically, and we really notice how her behavior has gone from more and more anxious. She has always had slight anxiety around other dogs, around certain scents, and around rain, but it has never affected her to that point. Now she is very, very anxious, and it's like Hurricane Milton triggered something in her. We had escaped from Tampa to Miami, and even in Miami there was a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and it made Herky super anxious to the point that she would not urinate and she would hold her potty for up to 30 hours. It was so nerve-wracking. You know, we've taken her to the vet to see what is going on, and she has no sign of infection, no nothing. So it's just her being anxious and not wanting to relieve herself. And I think this is a natural behavior because, you know, in nature, when dogs potty and when they urinate, it leaves a trace of scent, and it makes them super vulnerable when they are literally pooing. It makes them very vulnerable to predators. So I think Herky just has that innate sense that it's dangerous for her to urinate, and she doesn't feel comfortable urinating. Even if we had taken her out like 10 times per day, she would not go. We tried urinary supplements and calming medication, and that does seem to kind of regulate her. It helps her be more constant at home, but every single time we travel and we go somewhere, the same cycle repeats itself, and she would be super anxious and hold her potty for like 24 to 30 hours, which is crazy, but that's just Herky. So now our girl is on daily calming medication and a urinary supplement to help her relax and help her ease her pee. We also noticed that with age, especially now, she is so sensitive to temperature and to physical exercise. Our girl used to love being outside, and now she's very sensitive to the weather. Like now Tampa is very hot already in April, and she is just refusing to walk. Like she doesn't want to go out. She seems to want to go out when we are out, and we're like, oh. She's like, oh, my parents are leaving, I want to go with them. But as soon as she steps outside and it's hot, she's a statue. She's immobile. She just stands there and she just doesn't want to walk. Are you comfortable? Yeah, you're not very comfortable, huh? And now on walk, it seems like she drags a lot more. She is slower. She likes to take her time. She loves to be off leash the most. So when we have to go on a physical walk on leash, it's really a struggle now. Like she doesn't want to. Plus, you add the hot weather, it just makes everything more complicated for my poor Herky. These are just some examples of how your dog's behavior can change when they age. So just try to be not frustrated with them. This is a normal process of your dog's aging and getting more fragile and more sensitive to things. So just be mindful of that. When their behavior changes, that it's not them, it's actually aging. Another example of something that is triggering her anxiety is probably the fact that she can't see well and can't hear as well anymore. Her sleeps are getting more and more deep. It's harder to wake her up. She can be sleeping and I can walk by and I can open the door, open the light, and she won't even wake up until I physically pet her like a lot for her to wake up. And at night, she usually holds her potty as well because she could be scared at night because she doesn't see well. The vet told us that like a year or two ago, and I definitely see it. Try to adjust the house so that there's night lights everywhere so they don't knock things over. We have night lights everywhere around the yard now. And then when we go for the last potty, the dogs are always on a leash, always under supervision, but you see that she's a lot more wary of her surroundings because she can't see as well, even if we added lights to help her with that. Around the house as well and in staircases, always add lights for your dog, especially when they are aging because they can't see and they are more at risk of falling and of tripping in the stairs and in hallways. So make sure that either they're supervised or there's lights everywhere. Because Herky is aging as well, we notice that when she is on a bed, or a couch, she's much more likely to fall down and tumble over. So we notice she likes to lie on the ground and on her floor beds much more. Now at night we got her a huge bed from Costco and we put it on the floor just so that there's no risk of her falling over, because it has happened a lot recently that she's just so asleep and she just falls over the bed. And we don't want injuries at this age. Herky was diagnosed with a luxating patella years and years ago, and it was always managed with joint supplements. With age, we definitely have noticed that her joints are getting stiffer and stiffer, and she's not as bouncy as she used to be. Now when she walks, her legs are a bit more stiff, and again, this is probably a normal sign of aging, but you know, Herky's joints are definitely aging too. Do you guys remember the videos like years and years ago? Every time I would sit down and do a video, she would just sit beside me or sit on this table, and now she just wants to sleep all the time. Herky girl sleeps through most of the day now. She can't be bothered with Oasis. Milton will play around with Oasis and run around and bark. But Herky, guys, she doesn't even bark anymore. Like before, when she's startled or when she really wants something, she would bark. Overall, we have very silent dogs, but every once in a while, Herky would bark. She could bark on command also when I used to show her a treat and say the command bark, but gosh, she doesn't even bark anymore. It is crazy how much things are changing. And she's also, this is a fun tidbit, she's also much more impatient than before. Like when we used to prepare her food, she was able to just sit beside and wait for her food, but now, oh my goodness, when she's waiting for her food, she'll actually snap. Like she'll kind of nibble at her feet, at her ankles, at her knees, like whatever she can get her mouth on, she will nibble at us to say like, hey, I'm here. Hey, my food. Hey, hurry up. She is hilarious. I know it's hot, huh? She pants more often too. Herky always runs hot, like she always runs hotter than Milton, and she pants a lot more now. Like you see her opening her mouth and panting a lot more. We still do our annual physical, and I really recommend that you always take your dogs to the vet. And the vet has no concern other than, you know, normal signs of aging. He's always very happy with the weight and how she is overall. But our Milton girl is gonna turn 9 years old soon, and since we have Herky and we are aware of some of the signs of aging, we will be more knowledgeable when it comes time to Milton. But Milton still has so much pep. I know I said that about Herky too, just last year probably, but she definitely lost a lot of pep, and I think it will be so sad when peppy Milton's the peppiest dog ever, for her to start losing her pep. And another very important point to mention when you have older dogs is to be more careful with them, with stairs, with predators, with dangers, because again, they're not as alert as they used to. They're weaker, they don't see as well, they don't hear as well. So always, for example, if you're in Florida, always make sure that they are supervised with someone when they're outside, because there are predators. There's birds, like there's eagles, there's gators. Never let them alone. Always have them off leash for the cane toads as well. There's these dangerous toads, so be careful that they don't get close to anything. Herky and Milton are always with somebody outside, always on a leash, because you never know, and especially when they're old, you never know what can happen. They can just run off and then wander, and then they have no idea where they are anymore. That's what I'm really afraid of with Herky, because she has these moments where she's super loopy, so we are very attentive to her needs. So this will be it for today's video. If you want daily updates, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. It's at Herky the Cavalier. We update on there way more frequently than YouTube, but we miss you guys. We love you. Thank you guys for following along. We'll see you next time. Bye.